it cannot happen, then the Luos should be reinstituted back as a community like the rest of Kenyans without being treated as second class or a third class citizens, you know. I will tell you that this Luo unity of purpose thing it's been around for as long as I can remember. I remember when I was growing up in Mombasa, we grew up in various places, but in Mombasa in the 1970s, the Luo Union was very, very strong. I don't know if you guys know any person who went by the name Owigo Olang. Yeah?
Owigo Lang. Yeah, we know
Gogni.
Owigo Gogni.
Yeah.
I know him.
I think at that point he was the chair of the Luo in Mombasa, and I was only a kid, but I knew all these things, you know, at that time. In fact, he was actually a policeman. He was a senior police officer. Interesting that even during Kenyatta's time, these things were allowed to happen, you know. So the Luo conversation has been around for a very long time. And even in the 90s, there was an international Luo conference. It was in the Western country. So there were about 15 different Luo tribes. You know, the Alur, the Acholi, you know, the Joluo of Kenya, the Luos from the Congo, Luos from Ethiopia, Sudan, you know, all the Barel Gazelle. This is a big community of the Luo. So when these things are happening in Kenya, even the Luos of Tanzania, those people in the likes of Musoma and places like that, they feel it. Places where, for example, Kinagor, the Misiani came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this thing is not a Kenyan affair only. And that does not mean that Luos in other countries or Luos in general can just become one single entity that can unite. No, because if you go to some countries in Eastern Central Africa, so Sudan, for example, the Luo tribes fighting there each other, you know.
Mm.
So, but this innocent, noble cause of Luo state, for me, I think is not something harmful. It's not harmful. But it should not be taken with a pinch of salt. It should be taken as a serious element of what is going on in Luo life in Kenya. You see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my contribution there. I think.
Yeah, I think you know, Eli. It is a possibility, yes, but there's a lot of legal challenges in it. This is something that might be realized maybe in 20 or 20 years to come. We might not even see it. Yeah, but you can start the process now so that our future generation will benefit from seceding. I personally don't see any benefit. We have
but it doesn't need to happen.
It doesn't need to happen.
If we reach the point where now the people who are the perceived persecutors change their tack, then it doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't need to happen because for me, I have said and I've quoted the Mumbai, the guy who drafted the constitution. Odhiambo said one thing: the Luo community will no longer need the presidency. It is no longer important because we have devolution, and that cost is life. People did not understand what devolution was all about. You know, we had been doing the wrong thing. The guy who created this, Leo, who created the stream, created it on his Facebook page. So right now I changed it. I just realized that it was on his page that we were streaming. So I've changed it to Mtembei. That's why I'm seeing the numbers increasing. So This guy wrote the chapter of devolution, and it cost him his life. He is not celebrated among the Luos who drafted the constitution. But he said, and I quote, "We will no longer need the presidency as a community because it's something that has eluded us for a very long time. All we need are the counties. If the county governments can work very well, then the issue of secession should not be on the table. And the issue of the presidency, we don't really care who becomes the president of the day. We have our counties working well for us. We have the governor as the president of the county in all our 4 counties. That can work. That can work for the betterment and the welfare of the people of Western region. With the devolution has worked so well in many parts of our country. Oparanya has done a very good job in Western. Same to the now Mbato, who was the former governor for Kisii, Ongwai. He did a wonderful job in Kisii, despite the scandals that he had. He did quite a wonderful job. But most of our counties have lagged back 10 years because people are stealing. Let us not steal from the counties. Let us develop those counties. And this applies to all the counties throughout Kenya. The counties are the solution. If we feel marginalized in Ukambani, let Makueni County work for the people. Let Kitui County work for the people. Let Nairobi County work for its people. Let Garissa, let Mandera County work for the people of Mandera. And that is what devolution was all about. That is why the 2010 Constitution was very robust. It addressed all the issues. It addressed the issues where we have a rogue presidency, what can be done. What can be done is what we have in the counties. So if the counties are working well for us, then we should not really complain. Really, that is my thought on this particular issue, unless you've got something to add on the issue of secession. I don't see any legal path in it. I don't see the government of the day agreeing to annex part of the country to give it to another community. That will be war. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. So it is a discussion in the table. It is important to us. But are there any legal channels towards seceding as the people of Western region or the Luo community? My answer is there is no legal. There's no legal path to it. Yes, it could be out there. If you know any legal path that we could follow, maybe you can tell us more about it. So join us in the show today. We are discussing the police brutality meted against the people of Kisumu and what is the way forward. Now that we have had the burials and the masses going on, Mr. Eli, do you see people like Kaluma following up this issue to court? On Monday, we want to see them in court.
It's interesting that I had Kaluma addressing Ruto as the president. You know how fast these people switch.
Yeah. Now you're wondering. You are busy insulting each other on WhatsApp and every other group. That Ruto is not the president. We don't recognize him. Ruto is, I don't know what. He's not the president of the country. Then they start now addressing him as the president of the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah, and I think they have been given, I think the ODM or Azimio, they've been given a riot act that for these so-called talks to continue, they must, one of the conditions is they must address this man as president. So you can see a lot of them now are saying the President Ruto, which is quite, me, I don't recognize Ruto, you know, but I see these people, they've recognized him. Hey, so I'm just thinking.
No, you as a supporter, you don't recognize Ruto as the president of the Republic of Kenya.
No, I don't. And I know people even in the civil service.
What informs your decision not to recognize Ruto as the president?
We've been there before. We've discussed that before. You're trying to annoy me, but it won't work.
I don't want you to shut your mic as Kaluma did and walk away from the studio.
I think that was very childish.
That was very childish. Yeah.
I mean, you should not have done that.
This is a stage where you are invited in the media. More than 10 million people are watching you, and they want to see your viewpoint. Then you say, "I don't invite me with such stupid people in the studio," and then your people are praising that action as some important action. That is a stupid act. It is childish, even if you're confronted with fact. I like when the debates are so heated between this senator is called
Olekina.
Secretary General for ODM is called.
Oh, this guy Sifuna.
Sifuna, when he comes in the studio with Aluale. And you know, they are paired and they are all lawyers and they are at each other. And you know, Aluale is.
And they don't work out.
They don't work out. They don't work out. I've never seen Sifuna working out. Even when he's cornered, even Aluale, when he's cornered by Sifuna, they never walk out of the studio. You can't do that. It means that you don't have any other logic to talk about. But to say that this other guy is dumb, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is a forum you've been given by the fourth estate. By the fourth estate.
I think ODM has. I think ODM maybe has very weak, you know, media of advisors or press officers.
They are so.
They have any. They're not up to their act.
They're not up to the. You know, the days we used to be in ODM fully. We would have people we know can articulate issues going to these particular channels, especially when there's a big issue like the police brutality. Then definitely you would have somebody who knows the law, somebody who can stand up in an argument, and that is the reason why we only have Sifuna going all around these stations and no any other backing from these other leaders. Kaluma said he's been out of the media for 1 year. So what?
In fact, even the particular interview for the presidential debate that Raila Odinga, his press and media advisors told him not to attend.
Can you imagine, Eli, please?
You know, that was very disappointing.
Tell me how many votes he lost by just that.
No. I would not agree with that comment about votes. No.
All right.
That's your point.
That was no point.
Okay. I will accept it as your point. But for me, I think that was a very immature decision for them to tell Mr. Odinga not to, not to attend that presidential interview between him and
Ruto.
These guys were looking for a job. And
they were looking for a job. You've been called for an interview. You say you are not going to attend the interview.
It was shocking. That one shocked me. It was one of the things that I did not like about the Azimio campaign. They should have let Raila go there. And even if he stutters, or as they say, stammer, which when I read one of WikiLeaks, entries a few years ago when Julian Assange had written all those things about, published those WikiLeaks statements. One of the things that these ambassadors from different countries, they take their notes when they meet our leaders. And one of them said, the American ambassador, whether it was Reineberg, I don't know, but said that Raila is very convincing and the people will listen to him. But his minor weakness is when he stutters or he stammers, because it doesn't help. But for me, when he does that, people have a lot of patience for him. Whether he's reading a speech or not, he should just attend those things and confront the person who is in front of him, which, for example, he believes that Ruto is completely not in the same kind of, that he's way above Ruto. Those are the media people telling Raila, and that's why one of the reasons he could not attend this interview. I mean, this was just shocking.
Yeah, I was waiting for Raila to roast Ruto in that particular interview.
Even me, yeah.
Because they had been calling him a thief and all that. This is the opportunity now. You have to, corner this guy completely, and with all his lies and all that.
Yeah.
Then you chicken out, or I don't know what happened. Then
even they should have sent Karua, if that was not.
No, Karua had a debate with Gachagua, which I think was with Gachagua, which was I think was successful. By and large, it happened. For Raila, the presidential candidates, not to attend the debate, and the deputy attends the debate, it doesn't make any sense.
But Uhuru Kenyatta did something similar. I think it was in either the 2017 or 2013. There was one of the debates that he did not attend.
Yeah, one of the debates, but he attended the presidential debate. Uhuru attended the president, and to our surprise, Uhuru performed so well in the debate.
Yeah. That's the one where he spoke about willing buyer, willing seller.
Yeah, willing buyer, willing seller. That is the time he spoke about willing buyer, willing seller. And people knew now, Uhuru, this guy, yes, he can be a president. Yeah, without that particular debate, I had underrated Uhuru so much. But when I watched that debate, I saw, okay, he has some potential. He has some points on the issues that he's raising, and he was groomed well enough for the debate. So this particular debate, it was a negative for Raila not to attend. It was a disappointment to so many of his supporters. He ought to have attended the debate and put Ruto to task on the issues that are affecting the country. So, Eli, we have exhausted the issue of police brutality. And I want to thank you so much for once again gracing the studio. I think I have got a 6 o'clock flight. It is what time? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's wrap it up then. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up. I hope next time people will come early enough. Sorry for sharing the wrong link to our viewers. Now it's when they are when they have realized, oh, we are actually on Mtembei live. But sorry for our viewers who are out there. We shared the wrong link. And Leo from tomorrow will be hosting this particular show. It will be coming much earlier. We have spoken, so we will have this particular show hosted by Leo at Kenyan time between 9. So we, Eli and Mise, who was supposed to join us, will join the particular talk after Leo, maybe 3 hours after Leo started the show. Our main problem has been who starts the show because of time difference here in the US and the commitment on Eli's side. but we are laboring very, very hard to have a neutral show, a show that represents the the views of Kenyans out there. And if you have any issue that you want to bring out, please come to True TV 24. We are on Tembei platform. Thanks for Mtembei for giving us that platform to air this particular show. We air it on Mtembei platform so that we can reach out to the 20 million viewers and listeners out there. This is our country, Kenya. When Kenya burns, it burns with all of us. We have got the opportunity to rectify the wrongs that are being done by the politicians. So let us work very, very hard to see even the talks, follow up on the talks that are happening at Bomas between the two sides, see if they're coming up with the tangible issues. Tomorrow we might be discussing a bit of a sneak preview on what they are talking about in the talks at Bomas. So thank you, viewers and listeners, for being part of the show. I've been your host, Mzalendo kama kawaida. And Eli, your last word before we leave the studio.
Right. My last word is Kenyans, wherever you are, or Africans, wherever you are, enjoy the weekend and see you again tomorrow or the day after. Thank you. Asanteni.